And we are live.
Yay! Hello, how are you?
Yep, I'm really good. Thank you so much. How are you?
I am in Budapest, and behind me you'll see the bridge. It's just so beautiful. I love it here. I just arrived and I'm so happy to be here. Yeah. We have a body class here tomorrow and I'm just so excited. I just love the work. But we're not talking about body classes tonight. What are we talking about?
We are talking about what cognitive dissonance got to do with you not having everything you want with relationships and money. And actually, I would love to start with what is cognitive dissonance?
It's where you have opposing points of views and it creates conflict so that you've no clarity in what you would like to have. And so I'll give an example because I'm my sense is that makes it easier for people. So let's say you have a point of view that I need to have a relationship. And then you're like, but I don't like relationships or I suck at relationships. Okay. Immediately you've opposing points of views, you have conflict. And then somebody else says to you, well, you should be in a relationship. So I need one, I lack one, I should have one, but I don't like one, you know? And so you've all this conflict, and cognitive dissonance is where we're in continuously thinking, figuring out, and it's always conflict and it creates pain in your body. It locks a lot of pain into your body because you don't have freedom of choice.
Yep. And yeah, like that's actually my whole past before access
Yeah.
consciousness. I'm sure nobody out there did said, "Oh, I would like to have money, but I should have money, but I can't have money, and I want to have money, but it's bad to have money," and like all of these, I'm gonna say like insane point of views that we have. And one of the things that Dr. Dane here talks about, like it's the insane point of views that we have, like creates the problem. Like it's not the
Yeah.
cognitive mind. Like if you actually was able to figure out everything with your mind, probably you wouldn't be here listening to us, or maybe you would already have everything in your life the way that you wanted. And like for me, there's so many places like I would have this cognitive dissonance. Like there were so many point of views that I personally have that I didn't knew that I had. And I would actually come to a class and then I would just blurb out this insane point of view that was
Yeah.
there. Was
Like, where
actually,
did that come from?
yeah. And I would actually bring that to consciousness, and then everything will become peaceful, everything will become more easier. And actually the things that I wanted to bring into my life that I was working so hard and it seemed was not able to come, like after changing my point of view and my energetic point of view that I had, starting to start would start to show up with so much more ease. And for me, that's magic. That's the
Totally.
beauty of consciousness.
Totally. And this class is about money and relationship. And one of the things with cognitive dissonance as well is that for me, I grew up around people that were, my mother was a worrywart, extremely worried all the time, worried financially. And what I did was I tried to take away her worry and I locked it in my own body. And then I became extremely sensitive with everyone who had that financial stress and worry. I even got into a relationship with someone who had a lot of stress with money. And not one person, like all the relationships until I became conscious and aware of it and I recognized it, you know. And so I spent my whole life thinking cognitive dissonance that if I solved my mother's problem, that it would resolve my own reality, and it never did. It like you think you're going in a direction in which it's going to give you something, but all it gave me was the continuous like crazy making, like continuously going around in my head, why, how, what, you know. And I'm so grateful that I can, you know, these vibrations, like all of us have cognitive dissonance, you know, and it's a vibration in your world where you're trying to figure out, you're trying to get it right, the what, the how, the why, you know. And I haven't ever seen it lead me to something greater, you know. And beyond all that is our ability to choose, and choice is just such a superpower for creation, you know. So I'd love to invite people. I just recently became a relationship done different facilitator again. So in this class, woohoo! In this class Saturday night, we look at your relationship with relationships, and also we look at your relationship with money, so that you can see, are you repeating the energies that someone that you grew up around? Are you repeating the same energies? You know, because I certainly was. I was attracting the same type of people as my mom, you know, and in regard to financials, in regard to relationship, and what is it that you would truly like to have? And now I didn't even know what my reality was with relationship and money, Troy. I genuinely didn't know what was true for me, because I was believing everything that I grew up around was me, and it wasn't me at all, you know?
Yeah, and I get like the figuring out part is huge, and like for me, like, I would actually spend hours and hours and hours and hours and thinking and creating, like finding a solution to a problem that actually don't even exist. And I was spending a lot of time and utilizing my energy into a black hole and
Mm.
trying to figure out as though if I find a solution to the problem, like it would create a different possibility. And like I'm just so grateful for access because like it have this, I'm gonna say, like beautiful recipes and like beautiful acknowledgments of
Spicy
what,
recipes for
yeah,
relationship and money.
yeah, and actually acknowledging like what something is. And like when you acknowledge it, you can go, oh, actually, like I don't have to spend a lot of time and energy here. Like this is actually not relevant for me. Or like even acknowledging like the person is choosing that, because like that was
Yeah.
one of the things like I never understood, that why would someone choose something that is destructive for them, that is not ease. And I
That
would
causes
have,
suffering, that causes pain. So then you
yeah.
would go try and figure that out. When in fact, even if you did try to make your parents happy, like were they willing to receive that, or they were they just was suffering so familiar that they didn't want anything beyond it, you know?
Mm. Yeah, and it it's a huge topic, and I get like there is a lot of to explore, and I get it's huge, like especially like with relationship and money. And actually, I would love to ask you, like when you pick the title, like you actually did say relationship and money, and do they how both of them are connected to each other's.
Well, relationships are about receiving, money is about receiving, and what most of us in the cognitive dissonance process, we've been told about what we should get and what we should give, instead of looking at what we can receive. And it's just such a big topic about receiving from people. I don't see many people receiving. It's a new phenomenon. There's a lot of us really looking to get into the practice of receiving. It's receiving everything without a point of view. And with people, like if you receive everything without a point of view, then you're totally free. And if you receive money without a point of view, if you know cognitive dissonance and you just chose it because you loved it, yeah, I love money. And so instead of being like, well, I have to do this and I have to do that and I have to do this to get it, and I spent my whole life doing that until I was 42, and then I changed. And so I suppose the big message is, it is about receiving. It is about receiving you. It is about getting clear on what you would like to have, getting clear on what's true for you in regard to your reality. Will that take you some time? Yes. But why wouldn't you start it? You know, one of the things that I know is that we're in a time where change is available, not just for the privileged, it's available for everyone.
Mm. Yeah, and like I have seen like relationships, and it has been a big part of my financial reality, like either with the relationships that I had that actually contributed to me to have a greater financial reality, or actually with the relationships that I had, it contributed to me to diminish my financial reality. And I personally
Totally.
was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and like the someone that really cared, that they cared about, that were asking them from money, and they actually couldn't refuse it, and they did
They didn't have
give
the
up.
courage to say no.
Yeah, yeah,
I've been
and
there. I've been
yeah,
there. I've been there where someone has asked me for money and I haven't had the courage to say no. So like it's supposed to be awful or wrong that you say no, actually I've created this money and I don't want to give it to you.
mm, yeah,
So it's
and
a, yeah, it's huge.
it is like huge topics, and like for me, like being able to like be present with that, because like the environment that I grew up with, it was all about like blaming money, it's money's fault, and like as though if I do have more money, like all of my problems will disappear. But like really acknowledging, oh, actually it's
Mm,
not money's fault, it's not about like the amount of money that I have in my bank account, it's the point of view that is creating, and the unconsciousness and anti-consciousness that I have around this area is creating these. And actually, when you are willing to be present with it and willing to educate yourself and do the work, like you can have a different financial reality wherever you are at the
yeah.
moment. And I know Rachel had a lot of debt like 12 years ago. Personally, I had no money. Literally, I had no money in my bank account like 7 years ago, and we both have a very different financial reality now with the choices that we made. So yeah.
And the big thing in this, Troy, you know, if you're blaming anyone, you're blaming money, or you're blaming your partner, or you're blaming your husband, or you're blaming your wife, or you're blaming your family. The only person's future you're destroying when you're blaming is your own. And so blaming isn't going to change anything, you know. You have to go inward to change what your relationships with money, with people, and
You're
start
giving
to
your
really
power away, like, every time that you blame
totally,
someone or
oh,
something, you're
totally,
giving your
oh,
power away.
absolutely, you're totally giving your power away. You're not acknowledging your abilities and capacities for transformation. And for me, empowerment is the name of the game. If you want to be empowered, if you know, if you truly would like to change this, you can, and that's what we're inviting you to. And what an adventure, you know, to be able to change instead of like gate mastering, which is like diminishing yourself, making yourself wrong. What an adventure to go on to see what you're capable of and to see what you are. Like my relationships, like since 13 years ago when I started to use the tools, because the tools allow you to have more choices, my relationships have gone a full, like totally transformed. You know, if you allow people to treat you like shit, they will treat you like shit. Whereas if you learn to stand up for yourself, then people won't treat you like that. You know, it's phenomenal to see the transformation that can occur when you actually start to stand up for yourself and honor yourself and respect yourself, you know, and have
Mm.
gratitude for yourself. And the
And
way your financial reality can change too.
yeah, and standing up yourself doesn't mean like fighting with someone
Fighting.
or going against something. It actually is acknowledging that you have a choice, and if something doesn't work for
Yeah,
you, you can make another choice, and there is a universe that is looking to support you and
yeah,
contribute to you.
yeah. And you're strong, and that you're strong and that you're capable, you know. So we invite you to join us on Saturday night. I'm really excited to see what will come up in class. This is an opener, you know, and so come join us if it's something that you're like, yeah, okay, let me see what this is about. Come on in and let's discover, you know, you beyond all this cognitive dissonance, uh, figuring out, yeah.
Hey, beautiful. And actually, the class price is 50 euro. So actually, and the country pricing applies as well. So if anybody's out there that's like, hey, that could be a good possibility to learn about cognitive dissonance and learn some tools and exercises to go beyond it. And thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Thanks so much, Sinam, for popping the link into the comments. And I hope to see
Merci.
you.
Teşekkürler Sinem.
Hey, yeah. And
That's my
teşekkürler, Rachel.
Ciao,
Mm.
everyone. Bye for
Bye,
now.
everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Troy. Bye, love.
You're welcome. Bye.